Hi crafters, it's Karen, and I come to you with another Diamond Dies design team project. I created a mixed media layout, and these are the dies that I incorporated into my project. The first one is this one. It's called the Nesting Labels 1 die set, and it's a new release from Diamond Dies. I really love the shape of this one. Really pretty. There's 7 dies that come in this set. I believe this particular die is on sale right now at DIemond.com. I'll put all the links below. I also used the Realistic Roses set and made my flowers. Really pretty. And I also used the fern leaf. So those are the dies that I incorporated into my layout. I used the Tim Coffee paper. It's called Travel, and by Kane Company, and this is one of my favorite all-time paper collections. It's a beautiful beach paper stack, pretty vivid colors, just really sweet paper collection. So I used that, and I used the ephemera pack also that goes with this particular collection. So this is my layout. Obviously it's a beach layout. That's me. That's a couple, at least a couple of years ago. It's an old photo. So my layout is sitting on a piece of 12 by 12 cardboard, and I peeled the edges to reveal the corrugated, the corrugation, and I went over it with gesso and some, I believe it's called Blue China Distress Stain by Tim Holtz. I will give you an overview and then I'll share the details with you. So after I prepared my cardboard, I prepared my sheet. I distressed all the edges, and I used walnut distress stain to ink all of the edges of my die cuts and everything else. I used this stencil by the Memory Box. Really sweet with the circles, and I use this with my molding paste. Really sweet, along with another one of the Crafters Workshop stencils there. I used my Lindy Stamp Gang to give it color from basically the I believe it's the Nantucket collection. So to map my photo over here, we'll start here. I used magic mesh, if you could see that there, and just cut my strips for added texture, and a strip going this way. This picture here with the seashells, that's actually a photo, and I had taken this photo long time ago, and I've printed it several times using it for background or whatever. It's just a picture of a bunch of seashells on the beach. So I used that to map my photo. I raised my photo up on cardboard to give it dimension. Over here is one of the Nesting Labels 1 from Diamond Dies that I cut from the paper collection because I really loved that edge. There's a little bit of burlap, frayed burlap showing here. And then I used some burlap banners, cut some burlap banners from DCWV burlap stack. This is a little canvas tag. I believe it's from Spare Parts. And a Prima tag here, metal tag. It says Explore. Then I cut a couple of strips of lace and laid it across here to create my lines, and I just layered them. I believe the white lace is from Suha Fuha. And then I prepared my Tim Holtz picture wheel die cut using the different inks and the Tim Holtz Distress ink, and I used this stamp and stamped it out on a tea-stained piece of paper or cardstock, and I adhered it here with a Prima brad. It says My Life in Pictures, and it fit real well. These are some Prima gears here. I had cut my paper short so that about 1.5 inches would show, so that I could use this. It's actually the creepy cloth from, you know, the Dollar Tree. And I had painted it with white gesso and everything, and I tucked it beneath the paper. But I wanted that netting to show, to give it more of a beachy feel. And I knew I was going to layer some of the seashell die cuts that came in the ephemera pack from the paper collection. So that's what I did there. And then I created the larger flowers, and this flower I created with the Diamond Dies Realistic Roses set. So I created this one, and there's one underneath there, and this one. And I just layered them up and used my sprays to give them dimension and to alter them a bit. Also, if you could see here and here, I had taken one of the nesting labels that I had cut from the paper collection, and I inked it and, you know, sprayed it accordingly, and then I rolled it and I punched holes along the edge because I wanted to give the layout on the bottom here some dimension. I was going to try to build like a surf, you know, and layer a bunch of shells there, but it didn't come together the way I had in my head. But I really love the dimension that it brought. So I used 2 sizes of the nesting labels, and I'll show you in a moment the dimension that it shows. So this is one, and this is one. And if you could see that here, if you could see the dimension that it holds, so that I knew I wanted to be able to build upon those rolls and, you know, play with the flowers and the die cuts and the whole dimension of it all. There's one of the realistic roses that I created for the layout, along with this one and this one. I draped some cheesecloth over this one and layered my seashell die cut there. This is a sticker from I believe a Paper Studio set, and it just says beach with the arrow, so I thought that was cute. The other little smaller roses here are from Recollections, along with these flat flowers here. This here is a bauble that I had in my stash. I believe Lydia gave this to me, but it's a school of fish, and it was gold, very shiny gold, and I went over with gesso. And then over here is where I used my fern leaf. I just cut them to size and layered them with the flowers there. So as you can see, I added a doily from Julie the Paper Bag Lady here, and this is the netting that I tucked underneath the paper. And I just wanted this to be an assortment of flowers with seashells, you know, with all that dimension. So I thought it came out cute, even though it's not the way I had it in my head. and next time I think I'll work with the school of thought that less is more. But as you can see, there's the stenciling and the stamping I did using Bo Bunny stamp set. This is from a Prima stamp set. And there's the Tim Holtz picture wheel. And then this is the labels one here that I used to map my photo. I thought that shape just brought it out, along with the colors in the collection, just helped make the photo pop. I went around my photo with some gesso. This is a Tim Holtz ornate frame that I cut from chipboard, and I went over it with the different sprays, and also I spread some of the my molding paste along it and sprayed it some more. I was trying to get it to look like a seashell, you know, that mother of pearl type look to it, you know, to give it texture. So I thought that looked sweet. And then I went around this photo the same way with the gesso and the Tim Holtz walnut stain. Both of these photos are printed on cardstock. It's a certain type of cardstock that is meant to print photos, but so they're matte photos. I wrapped some twine and adhered it here just for added texture and interest. I tucked this large Recollections flower underneath there. Let me see if I can't adjust the camera a little bit to make it easier to share. Over here I tucked some burlap and another one of Julie's doilies along the top, along with the other half of that large Recollection flower. The seagull is up on Pop Dots, and that's from the Tim Coffee ephemera pack. So I thought it came out really sweet. I thought it definitely had a beachy feel. And there are my flowers. I thought I cut out several of them with the paper collection, and then I worked them and then sprayed them and just layered them till I got them as full as I had wanted. This is just a couple of the smaller, from the smaller die there, and another one there and there. So I thought it came out really sweet. I really enjoyed working with this. It was the first time that I worked with this particular die. I'm going to leave the link to Diamond Dies below in the description box. And if you, right now, a couple of the dies are on sale. And if you spend $25 or more, you can use coupon code ThanksKaren to receive an extra 15% off of your order and receive free shipping. So don't forget to use the coupon code. All of the design team members have a code that you can use when placing your order. So that is my mixed media beach layout. So thanks so much for watching, and I'm sure I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye now.